Hi folks, I think I've solved the problem of the 30-minute or 32, 3-minute split on these videos. I start it and then at 33 minutes it starts up again. It doesn't stop recording, it just stops. But I've been told by somebody who knows about these things, which certainly isn't me, that it's because I'm using too low a rating on the SIM card, on the SD card. And he recommended a 64 gigabyte Ultra, but I got one. It turned up today, but it was a micro. So whoever's supplying it to me, like through eBay, is going to send me a free adapter, which I have got some. I've got one somewhere. So I'll have to wait till the weekend to get this. And and also. When I hairdry this, I'm going to give you plenty of warning so you can mute your sound or fast forward through the video, because I'm not going to mute it. I can't mute it, and I'm not going to edit the videos for less than 30 minutes. It's just not worth the time it takes to do. You of course are worth it, but it's a bit of a nuisance. So I'll give you plenty of warning. So what I'm going to do, I did the bike ride this morning, which is very lovely. It's a lovely day in London. It's a bit cloudy, but generally bright, cool breeze, but really, really nice day. So we did our bike ride and we went through Malden Hall on the Boardwalk as usual. And I looked at the view that I abstracted last week. It's the sort of wetlands. It's called the Wetlands because it's wet, it's marshy, it's on the water table. We're in the Wandle Valley here, and we ride along the River Wandle every week, weather permitting. We don't go out in the pouring rain or ice or snow, that sort of stuff. But it's such a lovely view to abstract. So I'm going to do another one of it and show you how I would approach a simple view, but complicated by things called trees and all they're still in their winter plumage or lack of. But it's all starting to green up now, so things are really happening. Saw some fish in the Wandle, a whacking great carp in Ravensbury Park, some big trout and some small ones, so that's nice to see. Okay, and thank you Glenn for sending me your brand new Ron Ransom hake that you don't seem to get on with. But your loss is my gain, so thank you very much for that, and I hope to speak to you on Messenger sometime. So I'll wet the paper all over. It's a Saunders £90. Okay, then we'll put a bit of a sky in, bit of a, well, I will put a bit of blue in, but I want to just give a bit of a blush of the raw sienna all over, just to warm it all up. Now, whatever you put on at this stage, it all dries much lighter than when you put it on. Now we'll have a bit of sunshine. That's a bit weak, a bit too weak. Let's just strengthen it up a little bit. And a bit of blue. It won't show probably. I'll put it in where I'm going to do the water. Not really the grass, it's the marsh grass. Best way to describe it. It's the stuff that, if there was enough of it, they could put it on the roof. Oh, and then we'll have a little bit of the light cloud here and there, so a bit of blue, just a touch of red, just to get a grey. Well, the hake is coming just in time because this one's losing its hairs now. All very delicate, the sky today. Well, the paper's a bit wet, it's you can do what you like with it, within reason. Now I like cloud in my skies. I would like to do hard edge clouds, but it takes so long. Alan Owen's very good at it. He manages to get it all. I could do it, but I prefer to. This is how I prefer to paint. Wet in wet. I'm used to it, and stay in my comfort zone. Right, let's just reclip the paper. We'll give it a dry in a moment. I'll give you plenty of warning. Okay, so mute your sound or fast forward through this bit. When you see that disappear, it means I've dried it. The paper itself is unmute. The paper itself is yellow. Well, it has a very faint yellowy colour to it. It's not brilliant white like the Winsor & Newton. But we can't get any more of that. They're £90. But for a lightweight paper, it's a heavyweight quality. It's really nice stuff. Now that's a very delicate sky. I'm quite happy with that. Right, okay, now put a bit of background in. Want a bit of distant green, so a bit of yellow and a bit of blue. So a nice blue green. Okay, so let's just for then we can add a bit more green in there. The blue gives a recession. A bit of water on it. But it's good. It needs to be on the blue side, not because the blue is an accurate colour for the background, but it gives that impression of recession, things going away from you. Blues recede, warm colours come forward. Oh, that's a nice delicate bit there. Let's have some a bit higher than that. So I'm going to put the trees in their winter attire behind that. Right, now we want some harder edges, so we go blue, yellow, bit of burnt sienna in there. Let's get it soft. My paints are not really hard, they've just been in my stay wet palette with on a nice warm bed of toweling that I spray. And a bit more green in there. See the hairs look all coming out. Don't try and lift them off the paper, wait till it dries. Right, let's get a nice bit of dark in there. Alright, nice, good dark. There's all shadow under the under the willows or whatever they are. Okay, they don't make them symmetrical. So the one here is slightly larger or further forward than the other side. In reality, I know we'll put in some of the greens. Leaving some gaps for the water. They weren't that obvious. It's very carefully controlled, cleverly controlled, with sluices, and so that they can monitor and all this wonderful wetland. It's just a South London park, but it's really, really lovely. We do appreciate it. We went up to town yesterday. London is a 25-minute train ride from here, stopping all stations, and it's not direct. If it was direct, it'd probably take about 6 minutes to get into the centre of London. We went to the Tower of London, joined in the happy throng of thousands and thousands of visitors. Much of the tower was built with William the Conqueror, by William the Conqueror, to show power. I'll just put some different bits of colour in there. Warming up as we come into the foreground and to the marsh grasses. I don't suppose this will lift off. I'll try, but you need to be dark when you're going to lift colour out. So all those bits I've left are, I'll put a bit of shadow in it, are bits of water. Now rather than try to paint blades of grass, we do it by trying to lift out. Right, so I'll get a card. I'm sure whether it'll work. These are bulrushes, all sorts of things up here, but won't overdo it. Like that. I'll put in some dark bits over that. Went over the wetland. So we were on a boardwalk that was built, it was probably about 200 metres long, 200-300 metres, winding, really lovely. And at this time of the year, as the trees are disguising factory units and all sorts of things. Okay, we'll let that go for a minute. We can go back to this now. Now I'm going to use my hake to do most of the calligraphy in the trees. So I want it dark, so I'll use some burnt umber. My burnt umber, I don't use it very much, so I don't know why. A bit of blue, give a nice grey. So I put these tall willowy type trees in. So well, this is a smaller one here, so it's coming up here. Put several in. I'm going to do some dry brush on that. I'll do some rigor marks. Okay, got some more bluey ones in there, so a little bit of distance between the front and the back. Okay, I'm going to put some heavier stuff in the bottom of that because that will be in shadow, so we'll go back to the other side. And there's a biggie. See what you can do with a hake. It does take a lot of getting used to, I'll be first to admit. The amount of water it holds, unwieldy, but it gives this lovely spontaneous look to your pictures. So going off the top, there are trams that run along the back of this, and we cross over it to go to our cup of tea place in Merton Abbey, where William Morris had his factories, producing fabrics and wallpapers and things for liberties in the 19th century. We sit opposite the mill, they're still working. Right, the rest is going to be a bit of dry brush, and we get to the we finish the boardwalk. Back on our bikes, 70 or 80 yards. We go across a level crossing, and we wait for it. Or hopefully there's a tram coming, and we wave at it. In the UK, we call that the last of the summer wine. We're of an age where we can be childish at our age. And it's all good fun, and we usually get a toot from the driver, or a nice sort of friendly expression with his two fingers. You know, creating distant trees. Right, put a bit of that bluey grey. Down there. Right, I'm going to dry that now, so take your headphones off now. Right, that bit's still a bit wet. Well, we'll put a little bit of greeny stuff over the top there because they are going into leaf now. I'll do a little bit of rigor. The shadow, I can't remember which way the sun from there the sun will be there. So I'm going to put a little bit of darker, a bit of shadow on the other side, I think. Oh, a bit brighter on this side. Right, a bit of dark on there. Alright, that'll do. While that's still drying, I'm going to alter the bases of these. I just want it to be bone dry. Now I'm going to put in some well, that one's okay, I can do a bit there, so let's have a bit of dark. Bit of dry brush in there. I'll just bring that tree down into there. I think now we can just go on to that other bit there. Just bury those. Okay, not too muddy. Well, I'm just going to put in some bits up the front there. So I burnt sienna and a bit of ultramarine. Pull out a few hairs. Take a bit of water off the brush. It's all about control of the water in the brush. It frustrates people because what they think is a nice bit of paint on the brush, and when they get to the paper, it just floods. So you do need a bit of cloth at hand just to take off the excess. Don't do too much of this. I might put some gouache on the top of them. Well, I might not. All these brushes going right up the head height and higher. Also disguises some of those energetic scrapings. Right, a little bit of wiggle work, I think. Then I will put in some little bits of white gouache. We got nice dark burnt sienna, burnt umber. I mean burnt umber and ultramarine gives you a nice dark. Plenty of water for this. Just go in, it's probably still a bit damp. Right, I'll give it a dry. So headphones off, mute your sound now. Okay, off we go. All these branches sort of form that canopy. Just a few. Lost in there a bit. Right, I want heavier grey to go in there. Right, that's it. So that one comes forward, that's big. This one's a bit smaller. This is harder to do on this rough paper than it is with the Fabriano. Okay, we don't want to overdo that. Right, let's get some get a bit of gouache. I'm going to use my hake as well. Oh, there's my gouache one. Bear with me while I look for the chaos. The debris of chaos. Debris of struggle. Oh, where's it gone? Where's my gouache? Ah, probably found the oil paint. That's a bit awkward, isn't it? Right in there, not the drawer. Oh, come on, these walks off with it. Gosh, where's the brush? I think we're going to be lucky. Not for a minute until I find it. I just wanted to put some light. Oh, here it is, look. In with the oil paints. So I'm working with watercolours, oils and acrylics, all off the same table. Oh, I have to squeeze some out. How we do for time? 28 minutes, oh, we've got a couple of minutes more, so let's just I'm going to mix a little bit of burnt sienna bit, so it's not pure white. Just a bit, a few of these. I don't think I've ever used my hake to do this. Alright, well, let's let that go. I'm not going to try to put any reflections in those puddles. Well, they're not puddles. You wouldn't drown if you went in there. You'd lose your welly boots. Right. Okay, mount. a bit of tape to stop it falling down the page. Ah, the Tower of London, what a place. The history is phenomenal. Originally it was built on Roman remains. There's still parts of the Roman wall there, the ramparts. When London was just a sort of a large village, I suppose. Well, there we are. Clip and clip. Right. I'll be zoomed. Right, let's just take it up a bit and we'll there we are. Nice bright picture on a nice bright sunny day. Sorry about you in North America, North America, around the Great Lakes and that and Co. and Joe, that the weather breaks for you soon. You've had a tough time with all the snow and the freezing. We've had very little here. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, I'll see you soon. Goodbye.